Hi, sister. Hi, Aussie girl. Hi, Elliot. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to move the computer, so just be prepared. Hi, Karen. How are you? Hi, sister. Hi, Aussie girl. Hi, Elliot. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to move the computer, so just be prepared. Hi, Karen. How are you? All right, here we go. Let's see. Trying to find the best angle. Hi, Rebecca M. I'm doing okay, Karen. Thank you for asking. Are you feeling better? So we've got a couple of things going on today. I have, well, first of all, I didn't feel like I got enough time with you guys this weekend because I was in and out so much. And so I really wanted to come on and kind of do, instead of doing a video for the diamond painting wrap up like I always do, I wanted to come on here and say hi to everybody one more time. Hi, Dearly Crafted. And speaking of Dearly Crafted, I got my first friend mail today. So we're going to open that up together, and you're going to be able to see what Dearly Crafted sent me. That's good, Karen. Karen says she's just in a little bit of pain right now. I'm glad to hear that it is much more manageable than what it was. And I just continue to hope and pray for your recovery and that maybe the pain will finally go away. I don't know if it can be fixed, but hopefully it can at least be managed a little bit. Yeah, so I just wanted to, like I said, hang out with you guys a little bit more. Laura is off celebrating her 25th wedding anniversary. Of course, she deserves to be able to do that. And I have to give the computer back tomorrow, which means I will not be able to live stream anymore until I can get a computer. Probably when tax season comes. I'm sure I'll be able to borrow this one again. But for right now, this will probably be my last live stream for a little while. Hi, Rosette. How are you? So yeah, so we're going to do that. And then I felt really bad about not having any scary stories for you guys, even though that's what we had agreed on. And I did have plenty of time to get them together. But with the death that happened in the family and all of that kind of stuff, I didn't actually get them done. So I have 3 stories for you guys tonight because I had originally thought about doing 13 nights of Halloween and telling you one Texas story each night. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I figured I could do 3 tonight. Maybe I'll do another video or 2 with some more scary stories in them. But instead of overextending myself and, just running myself into the ground with everything else going on, I thought that this would be a better way to go about it because I really have a problem with saying no sometimes when it comes to doing stuff, and I have to really learn my own limits a little bit better. Karen says, I'm going to message you on PMS later. You can keep your PMS, but you can message me a little bit later, and I will be happy to speak with you. So, oh, Dearly says, so sad we won't be able to visit live with you after this. We'll have to make this one count. That's right, guys. So, it is in the budget for tax season to get a computer. So hopefully after like January, February, I will be able to go live a little bit more often and, be able to bring you some live content because I really enjoy being live. I enjoy talking with you guys. Um, it's a lot of fun to spend time with you guys. Rosette, I'm so happy that you are back and that you got to catch my last one. Guys, I did not realize until like an hour and something into the chat that I wasn't on live chat. I was on top chat. So I missed a ton of messages. And I just have to say, I'm sorry about that. That's one of those things when you don't go live all the time, you forget to do. And so I was just like, about that. So I watched that back today. I'm watching the whole playlist back because I did miss quite a bit. And so, I was like, oh, I missed that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. So we're going to go with it today. I have my regular pen that I use, my really sharp tweezers that launch the channel, and my Doris containers, which are my favorite. And I like having them over here on the board. It makes it really, really nice to work with. So you can see this section down here is what I did during my last live on Saturday. And I had to go back after the live and fill in like 20 holes, all ones that I had done during the live. And I was just like, Marissa, you got to get it together a little bit more than that. And then last night, I got home about 4 o'clock and started this section here. I had started on Saturday night. I was watching. Who was I watching? I don't remember who I was watching on Saturday night, but I started this section here. And then last night, the last couple, when Becky was on and when Dave was on, I continued working on that. So we are going to finish this section up tonight, hopefully. Oh, thank you so much, Rosette. And thank you guys for the thumbs up. If you don't mind hitting that, that really helps me out. You don't have PMS anymore, Karen. That must be nice because I'm not real nice with the PMS. Thank you, Dearly Crafted. I'm still on the fence about this one because I feel like as big as it is, it's a little too pixelated. But considering I'm not even halfway through it yet, I'm not going to judge yet. I'm going to wait until I finish it because like on the camera and when I back off of it really far, like when I held it up, and walk away from it, then you can see everything much more. So I may just be too close, in all honesty, to really get a good picture of it. And so I'm hoping that once, I'm kind of further away from it, once it's finished, that the details will come out a little bit more. Now, I said this on Saturday, and I will say it again. The confetti in this is, oh, I'm not a confetti, like, I like a little bit of confetti. I don't like a lot of confetti. It is not my jam. It does not make me happy. It just kind of is very tedious to me. This one is not so bad if I do smaller sections, and this is actually a very large, or at least much larger than what I've been doing on this painting. And I think maybe that's part of the reason that I'm a little frustrated with it is because I opened up a section that was a little too big. And so I feel like I've been working on it for forever, and in reality, it's only been a couple of hours. So, how was you guys' Monday? Mine was super busy. I had missed, those last couple of days last week. And my boss is out on vacation this week, so I'm doing both my job and his job. So it was a little busy for me. Gotta read chat. Let's see. Thank you so much, Elliot, for smashing that like button. You're going to keep your eye out during the holiday season. during the next purge of computers from my circle of friends and colleagues. Yeah, Rosette, that's always a good idea. I'm not opposed to owning a computer that has, been like pre-owned or anything like that. My only hesitance with that is what's on that computer already, and then whether it will be able to run the software that it takes to be able to do these YouTube videos and edit these YouTube videos and all of that kind of stuff. So like right now, I'm running OBS, which I heard about from Fruitini uses it, and Pippa, and Diamond in the Rough all use it. And I wanted the picture in the corner, which you can see that I have, so that I wasn't like constantly being asked what picture that I'm working on. I know that's like a little thing, but I know it really frustrates some creators. It doesn't really bother me, but I figured if I have a picture there, you can all see what it is supposed to be. And it's just a little more helpful. It gives a little more of a visual, and you don't have to worry about just looking at me the whole time. Okay, let's see. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I got friend mail today. So this actually got delivered on Thursday. Hi, Tina. How are you today? Welcome. This actually got delivered on Thursday, which was the day that I left for home. And I'm going to hold it this way so you don't see my work address. And I opened it because I did put in an order for work about a week ago. So that stuff should be arriving. And I was like, what is this? And it's really light. I wasn't really sure what it was. And so I opened it. And I'm going to open it back up. So I just opened the package, the outer package. Rebecca says, I've done that pic and it's turned out nice. Good, Rebecca, because I love this picture. I've said this before, this is one of the first pictures that I ever put on my wish list when I started diamond painting a year ago. And it's been on there since then because I've been doing more pictures for other people, so like gifts, than I have for me. So I actually have only done 3 diamond paintings for me. 2 of those were the first ones that I did. And that was their little piece of notebook paper, 11 by 8.5 by 11 snowmen. And I got those off Amazon. It came in a set of 4. I gave 2 of them away to my mom to work on. And I kept the other 2 that I did finish. They weren't great quality. They were okay. They were a good introduction to diamond painting. And then I immediately went from those 8.5 by 11s into the Little Mermaid that I did that was about this size. And I did that in 6 days because it came from AliExpress and I didn't get it until 6 days before Christmas, and it was intended to be a Christmas gift. So, but I finished it and I gave it for Christmas. I finished it on Christmas Eve, but I finished it. Hi, Robin Babcock. How are you? Okay, so this is what I got from Dearly. And when I opened this today, I just had the biggest smile on my face. And Dearly, I don't think you realize, but I actually had this on my Amazon wish list. I did try cross-stitching last summer. Not this, past summer, but the one before that. And I kind of got I was just kind of so-so about it. But I had seen these, and I think part of my problem is that I started too big. And I think with these, I'm going to enjoy this a lot more. So I did have this one on my wish list, so I was super excited to see it. And I actually thought at first, did I order that and not realize it? Did I do that on accident? And so I was looking in here, and then I saw that it said, this is an Amazon gift receipt. And Dearly did tell me she was sending me something. And I was like, I don't even care what it is. I'm going to be excited about it. So I saw the gift receipt, and I was like, oh, I wonder if this is what she sent me. And then I found the note in here. And it says, can I read it out loud, Dearly? Or do you want me to keep it private? Let's see. Rosette says, in response, yeah, most of the computers that get purged are purged because they either got a new one for the holidays or they get purged because the computer is 6 months old, which is too old. Yeah, exactly, Rosette. It was a lucky guess. I was only expecting like work stuff, so it had to either be work stuff or from you. Did you say if I could read it? Is that okay? Anyway, okay, yes, I can read it. It says, a gift for you. Enjoy your gift. Thank you for all you do. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Hugs from Dearly Crafted. So that put a huge smile on my face, which I definitely needed. Thank you so much, Dearly. It's so sweet. So this is what I got. Y'all are probably tired of me telling you about it, but this is what I got. It is a little beaded cross stitch, and it's a smaller one, so I'm kind of excited to work on it. And it's a little Celtic, is it a Santa? Yeah, it's a Celtic Santa by Mill Hill, and it is 3.25 inches wide by 4.75 inches high, and it is called the Scotland Santa. Oh, you can't see because of the glare. I'm sorry. So he's got on his little kilt, and he's got his Celtic cross, and he's got his sporran, which is what this little pouch is here. And then he's got his cape on there. So I just thought it was a super cute little picture. I'm trying to get it so you guys can see it. And then it comes with the Ada cloth, and it comes with the floss and the beads that I need. And there's 2 sets of beads in here. So if I can get them. So like this one is a little more like pinks and greens and browns. And this one is like browns and creams and a different color of green. Comes with 2 needles. And then it comes with, it tells you your DMC colors. And I think this is the chart to tell you where to put everything down. So I'm going to have to really do some research to figure out how to do the beaded cross stitch because I wasn't very good at the regular cross stitch. But I am going to try this. I do have the hoops and everything like that. So I'm going to give this a go and see if I can get it done before Christmas. And then if I can, I'm going to put it on my Christmas tree. So thank you so, so much, Dearly. This is a fantastic little present. I'm so excited. And it is my first friend mail. Hi, Cheryl. I saw you come in. I'm sorry. Hi, Odd But Nice. Sorry, I'm drinking. This is, ooh, I bumped the computer. This is my tea from a little Mexican mom and pop place that I love. And they give me this tea at lunch, and then I drink it for the rest of the day. I am going to make that Scottish Santa a rock star because that's the only way I know how to do it. So, and the other thing about that is when we go to Tyler and when we go to Salado, I can take that with me because I can't take a diamond painting. And I can like sit on the couch in the evenings at our hotel and work on that. Hi, Diamond in the Rough. Hi, Fee. How are you? So yeah, so I can work on all of that. And take it with me. It travels a little bit more, and I have plenty of containers that I can use to kit that up. In fact, I can even use my new ones if I wanted to. Okay, so let's diamond paint a little more, and then I will read you the first of the stories. So I have a story about 3 hotels technically. One of those hotels used to be a brothel. No problem, Fee. I know it's your night off. Well, your day off. One of your days off. You have Elliot says, I have a beaded cross stitch of a deer if anyone wants it because I don't want it. Was it not your thing, Elliot? Was it because it's a deer or because it's a cross stitch? Because yeah, like I got a little ambitious, I think, on the first go, and I didn't have any of the basics down. So I'm going to have to watch some more videos, maybe watch some of Rachel's videos and see if I can figure it out a little bit better, because I had a really hard time figuring out like how many strands of yarn to use and like how to do it and all of that kind of stuff. So that was one of the crafts I found before I started diamond painting. I actually found diamond painting because of that. And I liked diamond painting better. So I have a whole drawer full of cross stitching things that I haven't touched in like a year. I have a whole thing of floss, like a whole container of floss. Because, you know, you have to buy all the pretty colors, just like with diamond painting. And yeah, I didn't want to get rid of it because I thought I'd give it another go. But I definitely have to learn more. Let's see. Days off, another 4 off. Yay, finally. Yeah, Elliot, Jeremy might actually really like that. I think he's got a cross stitch kit that he was going to do or was looking into doing one. You got to get the Fiona Fee says she's got to get the drawers put together. P.S. not being filmed. I completely understand that because I organized the closet and didn't film it. So, you know, I completely understand. Let's see. Yeah, Rosette did ask me something, or someone asked me. Somebody asked me what size it was. Oh, is Tina leaving? Bye, Tina. Go have fun watching football. I'm always about that. Yeah, odd but nice. It's one of those things where I tried it. It was okay, but I didn't really have anybody to help me, like in person. Nobody I know does cross stitching. And now that I found you guys and so many of you do cross stitch, I think, you know, I can now ask Jen or ask Rachel or, you know, whatever. And I have somebody to go to that can explain it to me in a way that I understand. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, it's just a small one. It's a 3.25 inch by 4 3/4 inch. So my first one was like a really big one. And like I said, I think I got too ambitious. What symbol am I working on? Oh, I was doing hearts. Hi, Shawana. What you doing, girl? Did you finally recover? Because I know you didn't sleep very much. Did everybody recover? So, okay, so last night, those of you that have watched the news today, I don't know how some of you will not get the news because you're in other countries. But for those of you that are here, about 5 minutes after Dave finished his live last night, my phone started going off. And it was my weather app. And so Dave finishes, and I literally had gotten up, you know, walked to the refrigerator, looked in, realized I was going to have to cook something, walked away. And my phone goes off and says, "You are under a tornado warning." Now, guys, keep in mind, they did the storm track, and we had like a 30% chance of severe weather. Like, we knew there was a squall line coming through, but it was supposed to be like straight line winds, that kind of stuff. And there is now a confirmed tornado on the ground out by Dallas Love Field. Well, Dallas Love Field is only about 15 minutes from my house, depending on which way you go. It's or about 15 miles, I should say. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, the sirens aren't going off here, so, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see, you know, where it's going to track because, you know, tornadoes turn like they want to do. And so I was like, okay. So I was on alert, but I wasn't like super fussed about it. And when you live in Texas and you're not like, I'm cautious, but I'm not terrified. Do you know what I mean? Um, and so it was about 9:15 or so. They said it wasn't going to be in my area till about 9:30. I went ahead and changed for bed and crawled in bed. I had all the lights turned out. I was going to go to bed early, and I had um, just gotten in bed, plugged the phone in, all that kind of stuff like I normally do. And about a minute after I crawled in bed, I finally got comfortable and the sirens start going off. And I'm like, well, mother humper. Okay, that was not what I said, but that's what I'm saying on the YouTube. So I got up, turned all the lights back on, put on a pair of tennis shoes, put on a bra, because if you're the girl out there with no bra on when the tornado comes, and then you're standing in front of your destroyed house, that's the people that the news wants to interview. I was not going to be that girl. No offense against them girls, but I refuse to be that girl. So I put a bra on, and I get my purse, and I get my keys, make sure my wallet, everything is in there, get a bag, bottle of water. I should have a tornado bag ready. But here's my thing. And those of you that deal with tornadoes on a regular basis or that are prepared for tornadoes, they get them in your area, you're going to kind of understand this line of thinking. They tell you to pack an emergency box, right? It's going to have water and flashlights and, whatever in it. First aid kit, etc. Here's my question. How am I supposed to keep that box in my house when there's a tornado coming through? Like, seriously. Like, am I supposed to sit on it? Do I need to get a backpack and make it a backpack instead of a box? Like, I wouldn't want to be braless when the good-looking emergency crew arrives. That's happened more than once. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so here's the thing, is like, they don't tell you about that because everybody has seen the pictures on the news where these houses are just completely destroyed. They're completely flattened. They never have found, 90% of their items, their things. And I'm like, how am I supposed to keep track in a tornado of my emergency box? I don't have a basement. Does that make sense? Am I like completely in my own head about this? So let's see. Rosette, or let me go back a little further. Dearly said, yeah, we always have an emergency suitcase, right? So I didn't even think about packing a change of clothes. But I was wearing, leggings and whatever. And I mean, I have friends that are my size, so I could always wear their clothes if I had to. Wasn't really thinking about clothes. I was thinking about, making sure that I had money and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, I wanted to know this too. I have tornadoes, but yeah, exactly, Rosette. So I'm glad somebody else thinks about this too. Like that I'm not completely crazy. Hi, Mayhem. How are you, darling? Oh, I'm good. I made it home. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with everybody this weekend. So, like I said, I decided to come on, and instead of doing a wrap-up video, we're going to do a wrap-up live because I'm sure everybody is not tired of lives yet. See, Elliot says, I'm back. I found it, and I will send a picture of it in Messenger to you, and you can show people. Perfect. Yeah, a backpack. So I'm thinking I need to get a backpack and maybe pack all my stuff in there. I don't know. Tammy says, all I care about are pictures. Yeah, braless. So Mayhem, we were talking about the tornadoes that came through here last night. And how when I got up and when the siren started going off, I put on a bra so I wouldn't be braless. See, Rosette says, I have a bug out bag. Should we be evac'd? All of our papers are in a suitcase. See, Dearly says they keep all of their essentials with clothes in the suitcase and backpack, water, etc. Okay, so maybe I just need to think about packing a different way. Because, I'm thinking they show you when they do those videos that they have like a plastic tub. And I'm just thinking, that tub is flying. It is going away. Nobody's going to be able to find it. Somebody else is going to get your emergency supplies. Because this is the way my brain works. Rosette says, in our case, the question can be answered because we simply just have the bag by the door. When we get the evac order, we grab it, we load our pets, we grabbed a couple of these things, put our computers inside the car and go. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, and Rosette, I think you live in California, right? So you deal more with like fires and things like that are coming your direction before they get there. I mean, with a tornado, literally, I got the alert, and 5 minutes later, the sirens are going off. So we don't always have as much time as you do for other natural disasters that occur. But yeah, so that was always my thing is like, well, what do you do if the tornado takes your emergency supplies? Anywho, okay, so moving on. So the sirens, there is a siren. There's a park right across the street from me. It's a soccer park. And then behind that, there is a baseball complex or a softball complex. And you can see for a good 10 miles or so over that field, which is really nice. It gives me amazing views. And that's due north of me. And the storm, like I said, I came in here and I turned on the news. And I'm going to go off on another tangent right now because I'm still pissed about this. NBC DFW, shame on you. NBC was showing the Cowboys game last night. Not once did they break their programming to say that there was a tornado going through the center of Dallas County. Shame on you, NBC5. I'm pretty sure people's lives are more important than an effing football game. And that's coming from me. And I love football. But shame. Sorry. That rant is now over. I hope you enjoyed it. What did I miss? Hi, Crystal. How are you? Hey, Shez. Rosette C, and I'm on a fragment of the fault line, but it's over 5K underneath our mountain, so the quake has to be big enough. Yeah, that makes sense. You don't know that the quakes are coming. Rebecca says, as soon as I saw those pics, I had a feeling tornadoes might be involved. Yeah, absolutely. They estimated last night, just from the amount of damage to the trees and to roofs and things like that, they're thinking it's probably going to be like an F2, maybe a weak F3. And we are getting into what the South calls second season. So most of our tornadoes in the South and the Midwest come in the spring and early summer. That's, when the big ones, start hitting, that's usually when it happens. It is not unheard of for us to have a tornado randomly in the fall. A few years ago, I guess it's been about 3 or 4 years now, this area just to the south of me got hit with multiple tornadoes on Christmas Eve. Or was it Christmas Day? But yeah, it was December. It was either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And that one was really, really bad because it came, just like last night, it's after dark. The tornadoes are rain wrapped, so you cannot see them. So if you're like out driving or whatever, you can't tell if there's a tornado coming. So, that's one of those things. But anyway, where was I at in the story? Northern California, once in a while has a tornado and earthquakes. Yeah, Cheryl. I know like Ohio has them every now and then, Pennsylvania, New York, everywhere can have one. But this is definitely, I was talking about second season. That's where I was at. Second season is a thing and we're all prepared for it. But, so hearing that there was one on the ground wasn't a shocker or anything. It was a little concerning, especially considering it was originally headed directly towards me, but it veered northeast and it actually went over what we call the high five, which is one of the major highway interchanges here. So it connects the 75 highway, Interstate 75, Interstate 35, Interstate 45, all of these major interstates in Dallas. When they connect at the high five. And it also connects our major highway loop around the Dallas Metroplex, which is 635. Is my DP a 40 by 50? No, my DP is a 50 by 70. I could not hear it, Mayhem. It didn't get that close. Give me just a second, Brian, because I'm on my phone, so I'm going to have to jump over and find it. You sent it to me on Facebook Messenger? Anyway, so it went through that area. Very highly populated areas is where this thing was hitting. And I could see it. And so, of course, because I'm me, and I originally wanted to be a meteorologist when I was in high school, that was what I was going to go to school to do. I took my phone and went right on outside. And the lightning was unreal. It was pretty much constant. Now, let me tell you, nature put on a show last night, and it was a Tony Award-winning show. I look up, and I'm looking at this storm, and it's moving, to the north and east, and so I'm seeing the backside of it, and I see this funnel start coming down. And so I got my phone out, and I started recording, so I've got video of that. I will put this all in a video for you. We have our electricity shut off due to high winds. We had a major fire last year. I live near Jeremy. Yeah, I heard about that. I know Jeremy was without power for several days. Awesome. Meteorologist studies are fun. Yeah, I'm fascinated by the weather and how things happen and why and all of that kind of stuff. Especially severe weather has always really fascinated me. But anyway, so, and I just said all three of those trigger words that I'm trying to erase from my vocabulary. So yeah, so I'm filming this, and luckily it came down about halfway between the horizon and the cloud, and then it went back up. So I've got some video of that. And then as that storm started moving further and further away, I decide I'm going to start taking pictures of the lightning in the clouds. And you guys, I got some really amazing pictures. I'm super excited. I did post one on my Instagram. Bye, Rebecca. What are we making for dinner? I hope it's good because I'm hungry. I did post one on my Instagram. Elliot, did you ever say if it was on Facebook? Yes, it's on Facebook. Okay, give me 2 ticks. Okay, this looks like it is a buttons and beads. Oh, that's really cute, Elliot. Here is Brian's cross stitch. So if anyone wants that, Elliot said that he would send that to you. So I hope you guys can see that. There's a delay, so I can't really tell. Give me a second. There you go. So yeah, that looks really pretty. It looks like it is a, oh, that one's also a Mill Hill. It's called Buttons and Beads. It's a winter series. And that one is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And it's called the Winter Stag. Could y'all see that? Probably not. Hi, Christy. How are you? But yeah, so I start filming and I have tons and tons of videos to show you guys. Or I got some like time lapse. I got a ton of pictures. All kinds of different stuff. I did get a couple of really cool shots where it literally looks like the moon is out behind the clouds. It's so bright, but it's lightning. It's really cool. Is it a beaded cross stitch? No, sister, it won't match your living room. It's more rustic than what you've got going on. No, I don't think he wants you to make a video. He just he doesn't want the cross stitch, and he was offering it to someone else. Correct me if I'm wrong, Elliot. What symbol am I gonna do next? We're down to the cleanup symbols, the ones where I've missed one. So yeah, so and randomly all the sirens would start going off, and the one across the street just kind of kept blipping at us. You know how like when you drive by a cop and he wants you to slow down, but he doesn't actually want to put out the effort to stop you? He will just kind of, give you a little blip of his siren. That's what happened with the siren across the street. Now, both of the neighborhoods, there's a neighborhood off to the northeast and one off to the west of us. Theirs were going off pretty constantly as I'm sitting on my patio filming. Would not recommend, but I did it anyway. So yeah, so that's my tornado story. I'll get some of those. I'll either do, I think I'm going to do a video. Do y'all want to see a video of the really cool lightning pictures? If not, that's okay. If you do, let me know. That one. I'm going to finish these last couple of squares and then I will do the scary stories. Let's see. What is the get up challenge? Is that new dance that everybody's doing? Why do all the chats, I think it's a setting that YouTube has done. I didn't notice that happening until after I downloaded the new software install for iOS. Yes, lightning picks. Yes, lightning picks. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying is because I had to apologize for my chat the other day because I didn't realize till like an hour and 30 minutes in or an hour and 20 minutes in that I was even in live or in Top Chat. And when I was watching the playback today, because I do watch all of my videos back, I was mortified by how many comments that I had missed. And I'm sure somebody probably thought I was like ignoring them or something, and I wasn't by any means. Chat was moving a little fast, I'm not gonna lie. But I was trying to get as many comments in as possible. Okay, well, it looks like you guys really do want to see those. So I will work on, dang it, getting a video put together for you with all of those in it. I love nature photography and especially things like that where it's just something that you don't get to see all the time. I really enjoy taking those kinds of pictures And where is this? Dang it. All that kind of stuff. Sorry, guys. You were talking about it in... Okay, I haven't made it to Tia's yet. I started rewatching the whole DP-a-thon, so I made it down to... I think I got about halfway through Rachel's today, so I will continue watching those because I listen to them at work while I'm doing title work and things like that. Let's see. This one. Guys, I have really enjoyed this picture, but I'm really kind of ready to be done with it. I've been working on this for a solid 2 months. Okay, I'll have to research the Get Up Challenge. I'm very confused. But that's okay. This is the part I really dislike. How do you guys do this? When you miss them, do you wait until the end to go back and fill them in? Or do you, when you see that you've missed one, do you automatically go in and pull out the color and place it in then? AFK means away from keyboard. And that just lets you know that they're up away from their desk. Rebecca says, I made every single person's live this weekend. However, I crashed about 30 minutes before Becky ended and missed the first 45 minutes of Dave's. Rebecca, you were a rock star this weekend. You did exactly what I asked you to do. I appreciate it so, so much. One of these DP-a-thons, I'm actually going to be able to just sit and diamond paint and not do anything else and be in my house by myself, so I'm not having other conversations and I'm not missing so much stuff. It's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. Hasn't happened yet. Sometimes Shawana says she fills them in right then. Okay. This just, it has so much freaking confetti that I see it and I just keep moving because if I stop every time that I see one that I missed, I think I would go mental. Odd says she waits till the end of the section and goes back. Tammy says her millennial is sleeping right now, so you don't know either. That must be Colton. Didn't he, sister was telling me, guys, just those of you that don't know, Tammy Clevenger is my in real life big sister. She chased me around with a butcher knife when we were kids once. She's kind of mean. Not so much anymore, but she used to be mean. You know, sister things. I still kind of love her, though. She's pretty awesome. Yeah, seriously, everybody give Rebecca a hand. I think there was about 5 of them that made it to every single live for at least a little bit. I really tried, but I know that I fell asleep in Jennifer's live and I was out. I was down for the count. Shawana says, I was there in all, and man, did the bed feel good after. I would imagine so. I don't know how y'all do that. Because even when I'm not, like, overly tired like I was this last weekend, there's not other things going on, I can't make it. Can't do it. Of course, so I was in West Texas. For those of you that don't know, I grew up in the part of West Texas. It's like you're getting into the desert. And so I forgot how dry it is out there. So I was downing water like a camel that just came back from a 2-week journey. And of course, so then, because I'm drinking so much water, I have to pee every 2 hours. So I get up at like, what was it, about 4 a.m. to go to the bathroom after falling asleep on Sunday or Saturday night. I fell asleep in Jennifer Roberts' live. And then I woke up and Cindy was on. And Cindy graciously, at the last minute, filled those middle of the night slots for us. Hi, Jeremy. How are you today? Odd says, I made it to all the lives, but didn't speak in a few because my mom was sick and I was taking care of her. How is your mom doing now? I saw that you said, I think earlier, that she was feeling a little bit better. Yes, applause for everyone that made it to every live. I think Fiona said she did as well. Cheryl says, I tried to stay up the whole time, but had church on Sunday, so I missed some. Yeah, that was me, as I was trying to get in all of my visiting, all of the everything. I am not in top chat again. I am in live chat. Sorry. What did I miss? Creative says, that's okay. Once I threw a fork at my brother as he was running away and it stuck in his back. He was shirtless. Oh my. I mean, she didn't actually like stab me or anything, but she did chase me with a knife. She threw me off the handlebars of her bike one time too. She was kind of mean, but don't let nobody get between me and her, because that was not the thing to do. She could be mean to me all she wanted, but nobody else had that right. Okay. So we're going to let the light pad rest for just a second. And you can get a good view. You can actually see the corner of the book taking shape now. Jeremy says, I worked all weekend. I hardly was in any lives at the DP-a-thon. I felt horrible about that. It's okay. It is completely okay, Jeremy. We all understand that. Mayhem, I ran and screamed like a girl. I knew I was dead. Yeah, exactly. I would have run and screamed as well. Odd But Nice says her fever broke yesterday and didn't come back today. So yay, that is awesome, Odd But Nice. I'm so happy that she's feeling better. Fee says, I'm putting together a set of drawers from IKEA. Steps 1 to 4 done. You gotta love IKEA directions and all the little nuts and bolts that you can only use that little screwdriver that's like this big for. Ugh. Christy says, my brother threw a spoon at my head because I laughed because he spilled his cereal. I'm spilling the tea over here, sister. You just didn't even know it. Elliot said he tried to make all of them, but he missed a few. I felt so bad. You guys, I mean, I felt really bad too, and I feel like everybody understands that life happens. People have to sleep. People have to eat. People have to go to the potty. I mean, it's just a thing. Yeah, so, yeah, you definitely would have done that, sister. You definitely would have. Yeah, so there was this man. I don't know if he was at the wrong house or what, but right after she's chasing me around with a knife, we were home alone at the time. She's about 5 years older than I am, so it wasn't, that big a deal. And that was the 80s or the early 90s, like it wasn't a thing back then, that you couldn't leave your kids by themselves. And all of a sudden, this guy that neither one of us knew just starts pounding on the door and like yelling and stuff. And so we went and hid. She like made me hide, and she had her butcher knife out. She was ready to go to town on this dude. Cheryl, this is a square. Mayhem says it was a salad fork, but really heavy. I warned him first. He was picking on me while I ate. Don't get between her and her food. Rebecca says, Cindy almost talked me into taking the slot after her, but I just couldn't do it. You should have done it, Rebecca. You would have been just fine. Jeremy says, I just got done signing up for the DP Secret Santa before I came in here. I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute. Thank you, sir. I'm excited. I was actually really shocked by how many people have signed up so far, but super excited about it as well. And everybody's starting to add to their wish list. I've got to do a video. Mindy asked me to do a video on how to add things to your wish list on there. I'm going to try to do that this week. It is scary stories time, Elliot, because it's almost Halloween. And we all know what that means. You should be scared out of your mind. Okay. So I'm going to read these. I'm not going to look at chat while I do that. Okay. So you can put your questions in and then I will scroll back up once I get down to where I'm finished. All right. Take a drink of my tea. And here we go. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you about is Miss Molly's Hotel. Located in the historic Fort Worth Stockyards, Miss Molly's Bed and Breakfast, or Miss Molly's Hotel, is the oldest bed and breakfast in Fort Worth. Established as a boarding house in 1910 and called the Palace Rooms, it went through the Prohibition period being called the Oasis, and later as a bordello in the 1940s when it was called I didn't look up how to say this, Gayette Hotel. Miss Molly's is just old enough to have caught a glimpse of the Wild West and all of the time period of America's speakeasy and bordello days. Its long history as a boarding house has included a vast number of residents. Apparently, some have decided to extend their stay. Perhaps a large that sorry. Perhaps the large amounts of antiques and period pieces in the hotel remind them of the bawdy times that they shared there. So I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to say they basically all of the rooms are still how they would have looked. They're all very rustic. It's not been like, super updated or anything like that. Okay. The 7 themed rooms in the hotel all share stories of paranormal activity, with the Cattlemen's and Cowboys rooms having some of the more famous sightings of apparitions. Visitations have also occurred in the current owner's private rooms, number 8 and 9, of a young girl who is considered a former tenant of the hotel. Most of the sightings have involved the former working girls from the hotel's days as a bordello. The phenomena at Miss Molly's includes full-bodied apparitions, unexplained scents, items disappearing and reappearing, toilets flushing on their own, lights turning on and off, cold spots, unlocked doors refusing to open, and a variety of unidentified but entertaining sounds. According to a former owner, one housekeeper quit because she kept finding coins in rooms even though there had been no guests in that room, and she had just finished cleaning only to return and find the coins where she had just cleaned. Miss Molly's has been visited by a number of paranormal investigation groups and is listed with Texas Christian University's Paranormal Activities class. Can we talk about how the Christian University has a paranormal activities class? Just saying. Which makes regular visits to record the phenomena. Copies of unusual photos and tape recordings, as well as statements of the investigators and results, are kept prominently in the common living area. The hotel, situated above Fort Worth's Star Cafe, takes visitors up a staircase to another era. Period furnishings, furniture, and a number of stories about unexplained happenings provided with first-hand accounts by the owner. Miss Molly's is considered one of the most haunted properties in Fort Worth and one of the most active paranormal sites in Texas. Okay, so that's the first part of it. So that's the breakdown of what we're looking at. Let me go back up here. Salad fork, spoon, scary stories. Sign up on Elster. That link is below. It's really like, they're not like scary. Okay. So, from TripAdvisor, this is Tammy R. from Florida, reviewed this December 30th, 2014. Every April, my mom and all of us, her 4 daughters, go to Miss Molly's and stay a few days. First of all, let me say that the innkeeper, Tina, is wonderful. She is one of the reasons we keep going back. We keep in contact with her throughout the year. I want to share a few of our stories. The first trip, my mom and sister caught a shadow going across the wall where the mirror is in the sitting area. You can clearly see the shadow, but see nothing in the mirror. No one was in the hotel at the time. Not much happened that trip. Last year we went has made me last year we went has made me rethink of going back this year. My sister, who is skeptical about the paranormal world, thought she would go lay in bed in Jake's room and mess with him. She was laying there saying, "Jake, I don't believe you exist. Show yourself if you do." She started getting aggressive with him. After about 10 minutes, the door slammed shut and locks. She started screaming and was crying. She tried everything she could to open that door. We all were sitting in the sitting room with a few of the other guests. We all jumped up and tried to open the door. We couldn't get it open. One of the other guests grabbed the key off the wall where the keys to all the rooms are kept. The key wouldn't even unlock it. After a few minutes, the door just unlocked. My sister is very hard to scare. She was on the floor, shaking and crying. We all went into the sitting area and tried to calm her down. As we were doing that, the TV came on all by itself. The volume was turned all the way up and the picture was snowy. We turned it off and it did it 2 more times. I have never been so scared. I wanted to leave so bad that night. Tina opened all the Bibles in the hotel so I would relax some. We have also heard a little girl's laugh, toilets flushing, and my sister took a pic on her phone and you could see the shadow of a cowboy on the floor. We stay in many haunted places, one being Casadage Hotel in Florida. I have never had anything happen to me like I have here. We were supposed to go back this April, and I'm not sure I want to. If you are interested in the paranormal, this is definitely the place to stay. So that gave me chills when I read it. So yeah. What do you guys think about that part? That is a genuine, I literally went on TripAdvisor, typed in the name of the hotel, and got that review. It's like the one, it's at the very top. I scrolled through some other ones, but that was the best one. So, according to a YouTube video, the one that is linked below for Miss Molly's hotel, Miss Josie's room, there's 7 rooms in the hotel. So I think they said that there was 4 on one floor and 3 on another floor. And then the bottom floor is where the cafe is. Miss Josie's room was the madam's quarters during the bordello days. Many reports of guests waking up to see a Victorian lady watching them sleep. Why do ghosts like to watch you sleep? Why is that a thing? It's creepy, creepy, creepy. Like, I don't get it. The owner that's in this video does say it's mostly friendly or prankster types of activities. It doesn't sound like anybody's ever actually like been hurt or like, anything like that. Miss Amelia's room, she was now I personally say sex worker. That is apparently the new politically correct term, for it. But she was a sex worker in the bordello days, and she had a child, and there's a child ghost still there, the little girl that it talked about, and she was about 9 or 10 years old, and she was the child of one of the women in the bordello, and she died of some childhood disease and has been seen and heard in that room. She likes to play with dolls and toys. So if you, like if you bring dolls or if you bring toys and you leave them out, then she's been known to play with them. I think they watch us sleep because they can't. So you think they're jealous dearly? They might be. They just might be. So there's another ghost named Bobby. He's a little boy that likes to go in the bathroom and mess with women especially. So he will pull their hair. He'll play with the shower curtain. He'll giggle, do things like that. But he mostly does it around women. And then the gunslinger room. So people lying in bed with the door shut. So the door to the hallway will be completely shut and they're lying in bed, they're sleeping. They often see a woman come through the bedroom door, go to the closet, open the closet door, stand there like she's choosing an outfit for a few minutes, and then close the closet door and go back out of the bedroom door. I don't know why that gave me chills, but I'm like, listen, those are my clothes in that closet, and you got to ask before you want to borrow them. Okay. Hi, Rachel. How are you? So, and then in the railroad room, the cowboy ghost named Jake. So Jake is mentioned in the review from TripAdvisor. So Jake is the cowboy ghost. He is most often seen wearing a duster, which is one of the long jackets, a cowboy hat, boots, and spurs. He has actually been spotted not just in the hotel, but actually all over the stockyards. So, like, where other businesses in the stockyards have been closed for like renovations or for work or whatever, the workers have seen him everywhere. He's been seen at the bar, he's been seen in different restaurants, he's been seen in clubs, listening to music, all kinds of stuff. Um, Nobody has ever heard him like communicate or speak, but he is often the most often seen as a full bodied apparition. So that is the story of Miss Molly's Hotel. It is actually still open in business, and you can go and stay there if you really want to. Dearly says, we had a little girl that used to play with our toys too. That's another story. Yeah, that is another story, and I think we need to hear it. Jeremy, I think says he has paranormal activity in his own house. Christy says, I can't sleep if I feel like someone or something is watching me. Yeah, exactly, Christy. It's so creepy. Shawana, you telling me this when I have to go to sleep? You don't have to go to sleep, but it is always recommended. Yeah, so that is the story of Miss Molly's Hotel that used to be a bordello. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought you would enjoy that one. So, do you want me to go on to the next one, or do you want me to wait for a minute? Because I can do either one. I've got two more for you, and they're kind of long. They're both hotels, so you guys will have to let me know. Dearly says, I survived, so I can be here with you all at the moment. Okay, so here's the thing is like, I've said that I, watch a bunch of ghost shows, all that kind of stuff. I've had a couple of experiences, not very many, but just a couple. And, I think if you believe in ghosts, I think something exists, whatever you want to call it, whether it's a ghost or an angel or, whatever, that ghosts are just like people, and you have good ones and you have bad ones, right? Because it makes sense. They used to be people. If that's the theory that you're working with, that they used to be people, then you're going to have good ones and you're going to have bad ones. You're going to have ones that are angry and ones that are sad. And, you have little children. What do little children do? They want to play. So I feel like if you think about it like that they just used to be human, and, you know, maybe that makes them a little less scary, I guess. I mean, not saying that I want one living with me or anything, but when you think about it like that, it does make them a little less scary. Let's see. Brian says, Elliot, I absolutely love to visit this hotel. I actually really want to visit it too, and it's just across town. So I could do that. I am drinking unsweet tea, Rachel. Super exciting. Cheryl says she would love to stay at the hotels that are spooky. I think I would too. I think the Stanley is a little above my threshold for creepy, but maybe I think I could stay at Miss Molly's because it kind of sounds like if they mess with you, if you haven't experienced it, it's kind of fun. A lot of people on the TripAdvisor said their stuff had been moved when they came back into the room, or they would hear somebody would touch their feet at night, which I'm kind of not okay with, but I could live with it. Different things like that. So Fee says, I had my brother that passed away 3 years ago come into my bedroom with my brother that passed away when I was 7, 40 something years ago, and say, I'm the big brother now. Oh, dearly. Oh, I'm sorry, Fiona. Oh, yeah. So I lost a really close friend that was like my little brother, uh, while we were fighting in Iraq. He was killed over there in December the 20th. And, I've talked about Christmas being both happy and sad. Um, and that's why. But, like he was a prankster in real life, so he would, hide your keys, do things like that. Every once in a while, he'll come around, and I can tell he's been here because, something will have been moved that I'm very much a like, hi, Crane's Creations, how are you? Um, he's not here all the time. I can definitely tell that. But he'll come by and visit, kind of check up on me every once in a while. And so the last time he came, I was sitting here on my couch crocheting, and I had and was using a like neon orange, like a safety orange crochet hook. You cannot lose this thing, okay, guys? It is so bright. And I had to go to the bathroom, so I set my crochet down and I set the hook right on top. It was still in the yarn. Like my yarn was still hooked into the project. Or my hook was still in the project. And so I got up and I went to the bathroom and I came back and my hook is nowhere to be seen. I picked up the thing, I shook it out, I looked in the couch, I took all the cushions off, I looked under the couch, I looked under the table. It is nowhere to be found. And so I just said to the room, hi, RJ, I'm fine. Thank you for visiting. Can I have my hook back? I went outside, I smoked a cigarette, and I'm not lying to you guys. I walked back in the door, and there's maybe about 6 steps between my couch and my sliding glass door. I walk back in and I look down and that damn hook is laying in the center of my living room floor. There is no way that I could have missed it walking outside. So yeah. So that is one of my things. RJ comes and, kind of visits me every now and then. And he likes to, move my keys or do, like that, move my hook, things like that. Dearly says, we had some angry ones that lived in our house too. Once again, a story for another day. Christy says, I've been at the Stanley Hotel, never stayed the night though. Those of you that don't know, the Stanley Hotel is the hotel where Stephen King filmed The Shining. Jeremy says, I can't sleep when it feels like somebody's walking on the bed when the lights are on. Yeah. No, I totally get that, Jeremy. Have you guys ever I've noticed that after losing a pet a lot of times, I don't know if it's like your brain playing tricks on you, but when you're going to sleep and then you feel like a cat or a dog jump on the bed and then walk and lay down. Am I the only one that's ever happened to? Because I feel like that happens to me every now and then as well. I think it's just my past kitties and puppies coming to visit. Pepper says, have you guys seen the movie where the people living in the house, their house is haunted, but on the end, they find out they're the ghosts? I can't remember the name. Oh, no, but that sounds interesting. Crane says, I wish my house was haunted as long as they were nice. I don't want my house to be haunted. I'm sorry. If you're not paying rent, you can't stay here. That's my whole thing. Jeremy, it could very well be your mom. Let's see. Yeah, Pepper showed up. I saw Peppers. Hi, Peppers. My brother's being an ass. Yeah, he kind of was a little bit, but he was really sweet too. Let's see. Yeah, the darn hook, just laying. And I was just like, "Thank you, love you," and that was it. And nothing else ever happened. That's been the last time he checked in on me. Cheryl says the movie. I know the movie, the Australian movie star is in it. Which one? You guys have quite a few now. Dearly says, cool, you know how to deal with the ghostess very well. At least that one. I just assume that that's who it is to keep my sanity. Odd but Nice says, is Dr. Sleep being filmed there now? I do not know. I'm sorry. Dearly Crafted has felt the pets and hears feet walking sometimes. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Nicole Kidman apparently was in that movie, The Others. Exactly, Rachel. Pay rent or move out. Cheryl says, I lost my little dog last January and I feel her all the time. Okay. Yeah, guys, seriously though, like, you can't be living in my house if you're not paying rent. Just saying. Okay, let's go to the next story. It is 8 o'clock here, my time. For some of you, that's real late. Rachel, why is you still awake? Like, I don't want you to leave, but isn't it like 4 a.m. your time? Okay, so this next one is about the Menger Hotel, and the Menger Hotel is in San Antonio, Texas. Unofficially, the Menger Hotel holds the title of the most haunted hotel in Texas. Now, depending on which haunted hotel you're at, they're all the most haunted hotels. So you guys know how that goes. The Menger Hotel claims to host 32 different spirits, including Richard King and Sally White, a maid at the Menger who was murdered by her husband and buried at the hotel's expense. Guys, each of these stories that I'm going to tell, I linked below in my description a link to a YouTube video that I got a lot of my information. I knew it was after 2 a.m. Rachel, I hope that you have a good sleep. Don't think about these stories that I'm telling. And thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, Shawana, good night. Thank you so much. I hope you had a few laughs. Get some sleep, finally. All right, so William and Mary Menger opened the Menger Hotel in 1859 in San Antonio's Alamo Plaza. The plans for the hotel arose through the popularity of William Menger's brewery. The Mengers sold the property in 1881 to the Campman family. William Menger had immigrated from Germany to America in 1847. Menger settled in San Antonio and resumed his previous trade as a cooper and brewer. I don't know what a cooper is. If somebody does, let me know. With his German roots, Menger brought beer to San Antonio. Yeah, Menger, bring beer to San Antonio. He opened the Menger Brewery in 1855 on the battlegrounds of the Alamo, also known as the Alamo Plaza. So, y'all, the Menger Hotel is literally next door to the Alamo. And does everybody know what happened at the Alamo? Does anybody need me to cover that real briefly? Good night, Rachel. Love and hugs. You guys let me know if you need to know what happened at the Alamo. In 1858, the Mengers hired an architect and a contractor to complete the 2-story, 50-room hotel. Okay. Up to this point, most accommodations in San Antonio were boarding houses, and there were few breweries. The Menger Hotel opened in February 1859 and became an overnight success. So, guys, what you have to realize is Texas was its own country. And then it joined the United States in, don't quote me on this, but I think it was 1832-ish. Something around there, 1836 maybe. So this is only maybe 10, 11 years after Texas joined the United States. So you're talking like real Wild West. Like they're still having Indian, Native American attacks, different things like that. We just finished fighting the Texas Revolution to win our independence from Mexico. That's not too distant past, like 20 years in the past, and all of that kind of stuff. So, keeping that in mind, it's a Wild West town at this time. A cooper is a maker of casks and barrels. That makes sense if you own a brewery. Thank you very much, Cheryl. I learned something new today. Beer in San Antonio. Isn't that how it became a town? Pretty sure it is. So, of course, this is all before the Civil War. And so the Menger lasted through the Civil War, through the turmoil of the Reconstruction era after that. And many soldiers stayed there. The Menger Hotel planned to put the building to use in aiding the war effort because it was, not having a good time, serving people. They weren't getting many guests. And so they brought in, they fed the military personnel in the dining room. They offered medical care for wounded soldiers. And once the war ended, they went back to their normal operations. Got a message from Mayhem. She says she's sorry. She can... Did Mayhem leave? Did she have to pop out? Can't come back. She lost internet. Oh no, her internet is so bad. Tell her we said goodnight. Thank you for dropping in, please, dearly. So William Menger died in 1871, and his wife Mary and their son Louis continued to run the hotel and brewery. And then in 1877, the first train came into San Antonio. So the very first train in 1877 into San Antonio, and the hotel just kept growing and kept growing and kept growing. This allowed for a higher volume of travelers through the city and began to promote the growth of the Alamo Plaza. Alamo Plaza became the location of San Antonio's first federal post office, which also opened in 1877. And the hotel had a mail chute for guests on each floor. That was like real fancy back then, y'all. That's like having your own bathroom in some places. They installed gas lighting in 1879, and they sold the hotel in 1881 for the low, low, low price of $1,118 and $1,118. Nope, I'm saying that wrong. $118,000. Fuck. Oh, pardon my French. $118,500. There we go. My bad, guys. My bad. Which is $2.8 million in today's currency. So, over its history, the Menger Hotel has been the scene for many important events and has had many famous guests. The list of guests includes Presidents Ulysses S. Grant, Benjamin Harrison, Theodore Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, William H. Taft, William McKinley, Harry Truman, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Lyndon Johnson, George H.W. Bush, and Bill Clinton. Military figures including Sam Houston, Robert E. Lee, and William Hood Simpson, and other public figures including Oscar Wilde. So, oopsies, my bad, guys. Teddy Roosevelt would stay there with his Rough Riders. They would drink in the bar. And he is actually one of the ghosts that is reported to be seen there. Sorry. Of all the ghosts that continue to reside in the Menger, the most high profile has to be former President Teddy Roosevelt. It was here at the Menger bar, where he would convince unsuspecting cowboys to join his detachment of Rough Riders over a free drink or a few. Before they had time to sober up, they found themselves on the way to Fort Sam Houston for military training, before joining up with the forces fighting the Spanish-American War. It is here at the very bar he used for canvassing where his apparition has been seen, often sitting at the bar enjoying a drink. No problem, Elliot. Sally White. The most often reported sighting is a woman called Sally White. She was a chambermaid at the hotel during Victorian times who, after her work shift, was attacked by her husband. Suffering from severe injuries, she tragically lost her life days later. According to the Menger Hotel records, it paid for her funeral at a cost of $32. You may see Sally during the night on the way back to your room in her Victorian maid outfit, carrying a handful of towels for her guests. Captain Richard King. Another apparition that has been witnessed at the hotel is that of Captain Richard King. He was the owner of one of the biggest ranches in the world, the King Ranch. He would often stay at the hotel during his lifetime, as he had his own personal suite. After being informed of his impending death by physicians, he spent the last few months of his life in his suite, writing his will and bidding farewell to his friends. His funeral was even held in the parlor of the hotel. His suite, now named the King Ranch Room, is where his ghost has been seen, entering the room where the door was once located before the room was remodeled. The woman in the blue dress. Another apparition of a woman has been seen in the original hotel lobby. On one occasion, a staff member witnessed a woman in an old-fashioned blue dress sat knitting in the hotel lobby. Approaching her, the staff member asked if she was okay and if there was anything she needed. She only answered with a stern no, disappearing shortly after. Listen, y'all. This lady is just trying to knit in her afterlife, thinking she's not going to be interrupted, and then somebody's got to come interrupt her. Like, all of us crafters completely understand this, right? A male entity has been witnessed by a guest who was getting out of the shower. Emerging from the shower, the guest saw a man dressed in a buckskin jacket and gray pants, seemingly arguing with an unseen president. "Are you going to stay or are you going to go?" he was reported as saying 3 times before he vanished. There have also been reports of helpful ghosts in the kitchen, with staff members often reporting utensils floating through the air from one area to another. That is a nope. No, no. Due to the location of the hotel facing the site of the Alamo, many of the reports can be attributed to the lives that were lost there. One of the most frequent reports is the sound of heavy footsteps and the sighting of old military boots. So yeah, so this is like just a little bit of like what has occurred there. Basically they're supposed to have like all of these like different ghosts. So yeah, but I'm not about things floating. I'm not about seeing just random military boots walking around. That's also real creepy. If I go into my afterlife and I'm sitting somewhere diamond painting, I hope nobody rescues me or interrupts me, excuse me. Christy wants to know, does my Victoria's moon have lots of trash or no? Christy, mine does not. Now, I do have some of those drills that are like funky shaped that have that little piece on the side, but I've actually been using those because once you get those into the painting, you really cannot see them. So mine does not have a lot of trash. Like most of my trash is actually like random drills that I've dropped on the table, to be real honest with you. That's like 90% of it. Okay. So let's switch gears for a hot minute and talk about Christmas instead. How's that sound? So yeah, I have seen the Menger Hotel. I've been in San Antonio and I've seen the Menger Hotel, but I did not go into it. It is a really cool looking building. I think it's awesome that a hotel has lasted that long in the same location and continuous operation. That doesn't happen very often. So, but yeah, there's apparently a whole lot more ghosts, but I didn't figure I wanted to be talking all night about the different ghosts. And again, there's a video linked down below for the Menger Hotel, so you can watch that as well. And I think if I'm remembering correctly, that video actually they are walking through and filming, so you actually get to see like the decor and stuff of the hotel, and it's pretty. It's very pretty. Like it's really pretty, and they have lots of really old stuff. That's my sorority girl voice. Just so you know. If you're a sorority girl, no offense. Christy says, I'm noticing lots of trash in my new one. Oh, sorry, Christy. Yeah, no, guys, so how do I want to say this to offend the least amount of people? I can only and will only speak to my personal experience when I am reviewing a canvas. This is the first one that I've ever been asked to review by a company. I did get a message the other day, and by the other day I mean last week, to review an Amazon seller. But to be real honest, he didn't have anything that I was interested in. He was very nice, or she, I'm not really sure. The person was very nice. They said they watch my videos, whether they have or not, I don't know. That's, on them. But it just wasn't really a thing. I don't really have the time commitment right now. I do have Christmas presents that I really should be working on. And I'm still over here 2 months later. Not that it's Victoria's Moon fault that I'm still 2 months later working on this, but I'm still working on this one. I will only ever speak to my experience. I have had a really good experience so far with this company and with this canvas. I do look at other people's reviews and I see their experiences. And when I do that for any company, not just this one, but any company, I look for multiple people's reviews and multiple people's experience because we all have different experiences. I know some of you got, well, since I've already cussed once, some of you got real shit canvases. If my cussing offends you, I apologize, but I like cussing. It's fun. Um, and so I do my research, and that's the only thing that I'm going to tell you to do. I'm going to be completely honest with my experience. I'm going to tell you everything that I think, everything that I feel about it. I've said this one. This one has more confetti than I am really enjoying. Like, I've said that multiple times. I'm not a confetti person. Like, me laying down all of these 310s right now is making me so freaking happy because I can use my multi-placer. So yeah, I just encourage everybody to do their research. This company has had very mixed reviews. And it kind of seems to be to the extremes. Like, it's either really great experience or a not so great, like a really bad experience, honestly. So I don't know. It's hard to tell whether they are making the changes that they're telling us that they're making or whether they're, trying and it just hasn't happened yet. I was offered a second canvas. When Alvina checked on me, she did offer me another canvas and I declined just because, again, I don't have the time to work on another canvas. I'm supposed to have a 5 canvas limit in my house and I currently have 8. There's a problem. And that's, me holding myself personally accountable so that I don't turn around one day and just like have my house be covered in canvases because I just don't have the space for it. And honestly, that's a lot of pressure. You got to do a lot of that stuff. Like, seriously. Okay, let's see here. Cheryl says she's been to the Winchester Mystery House and Museum. Now that's creepy. I want to go there so freaking bad and just walk around for like half a day. I am fascinated by that house. I think everybody is. And just like the story behind that house. Victoria's Moon came in. Your Victoria's Moon, odd but nice? Or to the conversation? Oh, okay. Hi, Victoria's Moon, if you're here. My second Victoria's Moon is a 4-panel, and the first panel had no trash drills. Yeah, I really am not having any trash drills with this. And like I said, most of the ones that I have in my trash tray are ones that I've like dropped as I'm placing them. And then, I collect them off the table at the end of the night. That's pretty much the ones that I've had. And really, if I really needed them, I could definitely go back and get them. Um, because these colors are I really like the colors. I'm not real happy with the wings of the bird. I'm going to go ahead and finish the owl and see if I continue to like the purple because the wings are purple. And this is supposed to be a snowy owl. I'm really a Hedwig fan, and she's supposed to be a snowy owl. Her wings are not supposed to be purple. So I'm going to see when the picture is finished if I want to change that or not. That is a personal preference issue. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Am I talking out of my rear end? See, Odd But Nice says she hasn't had any horrible experiences yet, knock on wood. Christy says, I haven't had an issue yet with either canvas. Jeremy says, no offense, I love the cuss myself. Like, it's really, really relaxing, guys. The Winchester is awesome. Yeah, I really do want to go. Rosette says she grew up living a half a mile from the Winchester. As a 19-year-old, I did take a flashlight tour through the... Oh! Midnight on Halloween. Yes, Rosette. Living your best little creepy girl life. I love it. Love it. I would have been right there with you. So, yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of one of those things. If I finish this one, if they offer me another one, I might do it. I might not. It's really just going to depend on what I have going on at the time, because this one I'm supposed to be, what? Oh, I'm going to have to go back and read that. Sorry. This one was supposed to be finished by the end of October. Don't think it's going to happen, considering I'm not even halfway through yet. Because I'm supposed to be working on Diamond Art Club's Tin Soldier, because that is a Christmas present. Now, it is around, so I won't need as much time for that one as this one. So I'm going to have to get this one finished, I think, by mid-November at the latest, to definitely make sure I have time to do that one and get it framed and everything for Christmas. What did I miss? Dearly, yay! I wondered why you got quiet. She lost her internet for a bit there too. Is there some kind of weather situation happening? What's going on over there? Sorry guys, I just realized how loud I'm talking. Can you still hear me if I talk at this level? Or does it sound like I'm yelling at you? You'll have to let me know. One panel done, but need to get my Girl by Carousel done. Rosette said, and that's probably one of my worst costume ever years too. Did I mention that I was in the Winchester Mystery? Oh, Rosette. I don't think that was good. She might have been a little offended by that. The reason it was the worst cost you to choose, because wasn't the flashlight, what? Wasn't because of the flashlight tour. It was that she was only 4'3" and I'm 5'6". Yeah. Might have been a little uncomfortable. Shez says she's got a busy afternoon ahead, so I better get ready. Catch you all again soon. Thank you so much for coming, Shez. I will see you next time. I hope you enjoy your afternoon. Be careful out there. Okay, it doesn't seem like I'm yelling. I feel like I'm talking really loud. There's no weather issue right now, just very sucky internet company choices. Okay. I mean, because like last night, we never lost power at my house, but it did flicker a few times. So I don't know, high winds, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you do live in the boonies. So I figure you probably get wind and things out there dearly. Let's see. Hey, Rob, what you doing? Why are you still awake? It's like 3 a.m. there. Not that I'm not happy to have you, but it is like 3 a.m. Awake and lucky to find a live stream. Hello, hello. Is your insomnia kicking in? Um, okay, so what were we talking about? We were talking about choosing canvases from companies. So I have a couple of different companies. I still have never had an Ever Moment. So I need to order from Ever Moment. I would like to order a Treasure Studios Arts. There's lots and lots of companies that I need to try. And I, just have to kind of go out of my comfort zone. I've taken a few risks on AliExpress, and order from some companies, and I've actually only been burned once, which is pretty good. Now, granted, I do not purchase at the level that a lot of people purchase at. So I only get one or two new paintings every couple of months. So I really haven't had the opportunity to be burned like a lot of people because I'm not ordering the volume that they're ordering. Does that make sense? Stupid sucky internets. Exactly. I've never known that elephants have confetti hats. Right, Christy? Rob says he was playing Dragon Age Origins and got a very good ending, and that's why you're awake at silly o'clock. Well, as long as it was a happy ending, we're all good with that, Rob. Dearly says, really, right, odd but nice. It really throws a wrench into my social life. Can you... who do you need, Elliot? Lives are a nice place to be when you can't sleep. They really are. Yeah, I'm not in top chat. I am in live chat. I did make sure of that before I um or right after I started streaming, I should say, right at the beginning of my live. Okay. So, are we ready for our last scary story of the night? Because it is 8:30. I was planning to probably stop at 9, just because I also haven't had dinner tonight. So, I'm a little hungry. Okay. So, the last hotel we're going to talk about is the Baker Hotel. And the Baker is a 14-story, 232,000 square foot building, and it's visible from miles away. Opened just a few weeks after the 1929 stock market crash that ushered in the Great Depression, the once luxurious Baker is a relic of the town's past as a resort destination. And I should stop and say the Baker Hotel is in Wichita Falls, Texas. For decades in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, visitors flocked here for the purported benefits of the mineral-rich waters that gave the town its name. Many Texas grocers still sell the town's well water, bottled and branded as crazy water. But as advances in medicine made traveling to take the waters less popular, fewer people came. The hotel was shuttered in 1972, and the intervening 47 years haven't been kind. Most of the hundreds of windows are broken, some by vandals, some by hailstorms. The exterior is withered and dirty. Yes, the Baker Hotel. In those days, the town had a bustling tourism industry that had been steadily growing since 1877, the year James and Armanda Lynch, that is what that says, settled the site that is now Mineral Wells. The water drawn from the Lynch's well had a funny smell and taste, so the family hesitated to drink it at first, fearing it might be poisoned. But when it seemed to cure Armanda's rheumatism and the entire family began feeling healthier, word of the well's curative properties spread. Soon thousands of people were camping on the Lynch Ranch to bathe and drink the water. The Texas and Pacific Railway came to town in 1891, making it even easier for visitors to enjoy the hotels, bathhouses, restaurants, and shops popping up. Okay? So, yep, that crazy water. That Baker Hotel, yes, odd but nice. But I'm not reading that story that you've probably heard over and over again. So, these are some of the ghosts of the Baker Hotel. The woman on the 7th floor. The stories of ghosts and hauntings began in the Baker long before it ever closed. A porter who worked there during the 1950s and 1960s was the first known to witness the ghost of the woman on the 7th floor. She was possibly the mistress of the hotel manager. Distraught from her affair, she jumped to her death from the top of the building. Remember, it's 14 stories. The year of the incident had not been verified, but the room she stayed in, apparently quite comfortably, was a suite on the southeast corner of the 7th floor. Many have reported smelling her perfume, and her spirit is said to be quite flirtatious with men she may fancy. So don't go here, Rob. She might fancy you. Recently, a woman who worked as a maid in the hotel reported that on several occasions she found glasses in the room with red lipstick stains on the rims. This took place at times when no one was staying in the room. Good night, Crane. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good night, hun. Jane Catrett, who is assisted by Ronnie Walker, now manages the building. Ronnie manages tours of the building on weekends when time allows and is quite knowledgeable on the history of the hotel as well as the reports of a few sightings of disembodied guests. Ronnie reported one night he was near the main lobby on the first floor when he heard the distinct sound of a woman in high heels walking across the lobby. Thinking of the footsteps to be those of Jane Catrett, he yelled out her name. However, the footsteps faded away, and on further inspection, Ronnie found himself all alone. Later, he discovered that Jane had not been in the building that day. On another occasion, Ronnie reported being on the 7th floor, resetting an electrical breaker to the Christmas lights, which continuously tripped every night during the display. As he was inspecting the fuse box, attempting to locate the breaker switch, he heard the footsteps of an unseen person walking up to his left quietly, as if not to bother him. A bit startled, he turned to look and saw no one. Ronnie spoke to the possible ghosts and assured them he meant no harm. After that night, the lights never tripped again. So I'm going to stop there. One of the things that they do, the Baker Hotel hasn't been open for 47 years, but they do put up Christmas lights every year. So the hotel is all lit up on the outside with Christmas lights. And there are a couple of guys that are attempting to renovate the Baker Hotel and reopen it. And there's a hotel that's similar in the town that I grew up in. It's called the Settles Hotel. And for most of my adult life, in my childhood and adult life, that hotel has been closed. It was very similar to the Baker. It was run down. A lot of the windows were busted out. All of that kind of stuff. You know, of course, there's always tales of, ghost stories and things. And I remember being in 8th grade, when I was in 8th grade, we did a fundraising campaign to raise money to replace a lot of the windows so that the building wouldn't be continuously damaged by the elements. And we did a pretty good job of that. We got, I think, almost all of the windows replaced in the building with that campaign. So it can be done, but the Settles just opened up again, I think about 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. Just opened back up for business, and it's been that long. Okay. The hallway of the 11th floor, which is the Brazos room. Another incident occurred during a tour of the hotel by a group of World War II veterans and their spouses. As the group entered the Brazos room on the first floor, which was the main dining room and dance area, a couple suddenly stopped. The woman looked at her husband and asked, "Do you hear that?" He replied, "Why, I certainly do." About that time, several other people in the group began to hear the sounds of dishes and silverware clanking, as well as people talking with orchestra music in the background. Most of the people there reported this event. It has never happened before nor since, according to the source, but the witnesses were sure that they were experiencing the ghostly echoes of a time long past. So, water was probably messing with the internet. That crazy water. Dearly, don't drink the crazy water, okay? They settled the settles with settlers again recently. They did, dearly. They did, in fact, settle the settles with settlers. And you get 5 cool points for that. The fresh air ghosts. A young woman who worked at the local drive-through bank in the early 1990s reported that she and other tellers had their workstations facing the huge hotel. During slow times, they noticed hotel windows open on various floors. Later, they would notice these windows closed and others would be open. After a while, they began to take note and count which were opened and closed. The pattern changed. One of the girls told the others, "It must be the man who lives in the building and takes care of it." After that, the interest ceased and they stopped noticing. The strange thing is, no one has ever stayed in the Baker at any time since its closure in 1970. There was never a caretaker. So just who was opening and closing the windows? Let's see here. When they had wind, they had the Alka settlers. Oh my God. Rob, you're a negative 5 points for that. Christy, I live in North Texas. I live in Mesquite, but I'm originally from West Texas, which is in Big Spring, where I was this last weekend. Woo! Oh my goodness. I can't believe you even said that. Okay. The anonymous psychic, nostalgic ghost, and a shaggy dog. In the spring of 2000, I spoke with a local Mineral Wells woman who claimed to be a psychic. She has wished to remain anonymous for fear of ridicule in such a small town, and I, for one, certainly understand. She told me ever since she was a young girl, she has had the ability to see spirits. She said that she has been in the Baker many times and had even managed a shop on the outside first floor back in the early 1980s. She said the stories are true. The Baker is very haunted, but not like we think. Most ghosts didn't necessarily die at the Baker, but returned after death because the hotel represented a wonderful time in their lives. She went on to say that most of the spirits in the hotel do not want to be seen or heard, with the exception of a small child. A little boy, about 6 to 8 years old, was the only one to communicate with her. He told her he died in a hotel apartment in 1933 when his parents were seeking medical treatment for his leukemia. She reported a large shaggy dog always accompanied the child. He also bounced a ball to get her attention, and he was watched by an unknown older woman who was always near him. The psychic went on to tell me the spirits don't necessarily look the age they were when they died. Some were employees of the building. One, she said, for reasons she doesn't understand, was a helicopter pilot who attended basic flight training at Fort Walters in the 1960s. He was killed in a helicopter crash while at Fort Rucker, Alabama. He had returned to the Baker with his body in the same traumatic state that resulted from the crash. Yeah, got a little bit of chill there at the end. So, and I did misspeak. I said it was in Wichita Falls, and it is actually in Mineral Wells. So, yeah. From negative 5 points, it's a race to the bottom. I'll settle the lowest. Yeah, you know what, Christy? I was coming through there yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I should have told Christy I was coming through. But I was ready to be home at that point. I was starting to get really tired from being on the road that long, because it is right at 5 hours from my front door to Grandma's front door. So, yeah, it had been a long weekend. Good, but long. So, yeah, I have played around dearly. You're about to lose your cool points if you go with that joke. Oh my goodness. Y'all are a mess. um, I have played around with the idea of hosting a Texas meetup. You don't have to live in Texas to come, but we're going to do it in Texas, doing a retreat. I don't know at the moment that I really want to take on the time commitment that would be. I know people really want to have retreats. I get it. I know for a fact I would not be able to do it by myself. I would have to have help. Um, but there are lots and lots of places up here in North Texas that are set up for craft retreats. So it would literally be, and I have looked into this, I've looked at places. It would literally be, you would call them, you would pay for your weekend. Most of the ones that I'm seeing are about $300 or so a weekend, maybe 400. You would have to figure out how to get here. And then, but basically once you're there, then a couple of them have free, or it's included food and snacks and things like that. So I thought that would be really good. And then everybody could bring extra stuff if they wanted it. So yeah, you are all a mess. All of you are a mess. We're all a mess together. We are just one big crafty mess. It's like glitter. We are spilled glitter, guys. We are all spilled glitter. Okay, so Dearly says, hold on just a second, something is wonky. Dearly says, thank you for the cool stories. I'm so glad I got to share those with you. Those were the ones that I had started working on. I had picked out in my head to share with you guys. Like I said, I was originally going to do the 13 Nights of Halloween, but time-wise, I just can't make that happen. So, we're going to talk a little bit about, before we go, the Secret Santa. I know quite a few of you on here are already signed up. Thank you for that, because I'm super excited to host this year. I want to reiterate again that anybody is welcome. Anybody and everybody, whether they are on my channel as a subscriber or not, everybody's welcome. Anybody that wants to do this can sign up to do it with the link, which is also in my description box below. However, if you do choose to sign up, please know that you are committing to following through. Let's see, what did I miss? Trying not to laugh too loud and wake people up here. Yeah. You'd help, but you don't drive. I completely understand that. Rob Spooner, it's not my fault you sank to the bottom for me to have to try to save you, and I'm in the process, you become a possible floater. Wow, Dearly, that's cutthroat, man. It really would be cool, and I really wish that I could go to Ireland and go to the one that Rachel is hosting. It's just not feasible right now. So, it's just one of those things. I know some people are going to go and be able to enjoy it and love it, and I'm so excited for them. But for me, it's just not in the books at the moment. Um, We'll send a pic when done to your messenger. Is that for me, Fiona? It's Marissa's fault. I did give you -5 points. Is that like tying a cinder block to your legs and throwing you in the water? I didn't think it was. I mean, you know, maybe, but um, you're so fun too, dearly. We always laugh when you're here. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So just like guys, I'm really big on when you start something, you finish it. Like I made a commitment to the DP-a-thon, and there I was, stealing the neighbor's internet with their permission, of course. Just so that I could live stream because it was too late to ask somebody to take over. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of that. So it is a $30 limit ish, I should say, I guess, for some of you that can't follow rules. $30-ish limit. And um it can be, you can put anything that you want on your wish list. It does not have to be diamond painting related. It is not a diamond painting specific exchange. It is a Secret Santa exchange for the diamond painting community. Does that make sense? Laughing at Rob Spooner and Marissa McCartney so hard I couldn't finish typing. Sure, that's what it was, dearly. Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and all signups have to be in by November 10th. The system is basically running things. I just put it in and set it up, and so November 10th it'll stop taking signups. And then November 11th, names will be drawn and sent to whatever email that you registered with the site, is my understanding of it. And then all gifts need to be sent by December the 6th. I know it's a tight turnaround because I didn't get it set up as soon as I wanted to. But I think if we waited any longer, we're going to run into shipping issues because of Christmas. Tammy's the gold glitter. Tammy, you can definitely be the gold glitter. I'm the black glitter. Just so you know. I love you too, sister. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at on that. I do hope we get some more people to sign up. I'm trying to decide how to post that because I don't have a group on Facebook. I had one and it's still there, but I don't really want to maintain a group on Facebook. It's a lot of work. So if you have suggestions on how to do that, please let me know. Yeah. Odd but nice. I mean, I know some people really enjoy working on multiple DPs and things like that, but I just am about, committing. Once you've started, you're committed. And, life happens and, those circumstances are understandable, but especially when somebody else is counting on you, you make it work and you make it happen. And that's just a really big thing. And so I just really hope that this doesn't turn into a shit show and somebody doesn't get burned, because I really don't want that to happen. So I'm just trying to really be like stern about it without sucking out all the fun. Yeah, I really enjoy doing Secret Santa. I'm the one that always organizes it at work. And because of the way that I do it, because we like basically draw names, and then there always has to be that one person that loses their paper that we filled out and then has to come to me to get a new one. So I have to make sure to keep them. So I always know who my Secret Santa is. Even if I try not to, I always know who my Secret Santa is. So this way, I really have no idea who it's going to be. And I'm very excited to like finally, after 10 years, not know who it is. And to be surprised when I open the box, like genuinely and totally surprised, not knowing what's going to happen. Like today when I opened Dearly's present, because all she said was, I'm sending you something. It's just something small. And I thought, I don't even care what it is. It's going to be awesome. And I opened it and it was awesome. So I was right. And I like being right. Okay. I missed a lot. Do you love or hate the 310 life? 310s really do not bother me. I do get bored looking at them constantly, but that's really the only thing. And also, like, not so much in this one. You guys, I'm really surprised. This one really doesn't have a lot of trash, even in the 310s. I don't think I've actually thrown any drills out. Maybe one or two, but if that. Um, but yeah, 310 really doesn't bother me. It does get repetitive doing them. The ones I'm doing now are actually 154s, but because they're dark, um, against this light, it makes them look like they're 310s. But all of these other ones that I laid down a little bit ago, those were 310s. But yeah, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind the 310 life. If you do any color long enough, you get bored of it. Let's see. In my opinion, 310s are the fundamental building blocks of the universe. But that's a very long story for another time. Oh, Rob. I mean, you're not lying. Hi, Sariba. Did I say your name right? I hope I did. That's how everybody else says it, I think. Welcome, welcome. We're getting ready to finish up. I'm going to finish this tray of 154s. We're going to fill all these in, and then we are going to head out. But welcome in. They're being very silly, so be prepared. We encourage silly here. Laughter is good for the soul. We've told some scary stories. We've told some bad dad jokes. We've told some good jokes. We were just finishing talking about the Secret Santa and kind of some thoughts on it. If I'm going to ask you guys this, if anybody has any suggestions, recommendations, ideas, anything like that they would like for me to possibly implement for the DP-a-thon, please send me an instant message in Facebook or an email. My email is in my about section. This is everybody even the people that watch this on replay, anybody that has something that they would like or a suggestion they want to make. I mean, obviously, if you do it and you're an ass, I'm going to be an ass back. I'm really good at it too. But if you come at me in a way that is, respectful, I'm okay with that. But yeah, any like credible change, what would make it easier for everybody, the viewers and the creators, what things can we do better, what things went really well. Just give me some feedback, because that event is and has always been and was established because we wanted to do something as a community, and it is for the community. It is by creators in the community. And so I want the community to have a voice. So all of the creators that participated got an email this morning from me. It's my normal follow-up email that I always send. They were asked the same thing. I did get a couple of responses already. But yeah, anything that you guys can think of to make that event better, we can do another themed event if we want to for the one in January. Maybe we'll all make hot chocolate or something. But yeah, so if you guys will send those, I really would appreciate it. Because, I'm real good and I'm real creative and I know that about myself. I'm not bragging. I know this about myself. But even I need ideas sometimes and help. So like the playlist, Fiona suggested, Diamond in the Rough suggested it, I think after the first one, after our first Diamond Paint-a-thon, first or second one, I can't remember. And then Pippa suggested that we shorten the time to be able to allow more creators in. I think Pippa is also the one that suggested having the Facebook group for the creators. So all of those people that you guys, all of the hosts, we have a Facebook group where we help each other and talk to each other and support each other. And just to communicate, we have that as well. So, if you guys can think of like, what ways can we better inform the community? What ways can we let everybody know what's happening? Do we need to be more transparent? All of that kind of stuff. Please send me an email. I would really appreciate it. All right, what did I miss? I missed a lot. Three drawers are put in. Look at you, Fee, already. Good job, girl. That was only took you like just a few hours. You're doing better than I would have done. I hate IKEA furniture. Yeah, so yeah, my sister's rule of thumb, she does a lot of Secret Santa exchanges. Um, if you would not like to receive it, don't gift it. That is a very good rule of thumb. And not necessarily like you don't like that character or whatever, but if this is not the quality of something that you would want to receive or something that you would actually be interested in, don't give it to somebody else unless they're like asking specifically for it, I guess. Um, that's how I do all my gift giving. I always break the budget. I always, do the things. But I am a good gift giver, I think. At least my Secret Santas are always real happy. So I got burned last year by my Secret Santa at work. And I think we have an understanding this year. So we're doing much better this year. Okay, give me just a second and let me pull up my messenger so that I can see this picture. Fiona, before I go, do you want me to show this to everyone or no? You can let me know what you would like to do. See, got all kinds of messages. Ooh, Fiona, I like it. That's really cool, dude. I think that's one a lot of YouTubers use that one for makeup. If you need to use a mallet, then there is not a picture showing to use one. You were doing it wrong. Put the top on the bottom and had to fix that. Dude, we've all been there. So here is Fiona's. I don't know which way would be best without the glare. But there's Fiona's drawer. I think it's the, I want to say they're the Alex drawers, maybe? I don't remember. But yeah, there we go. Good job, Fiona. Those are going to come in really handy. See, Sariva says it was the first time viewing the DP-a-thon. I loved every minute of the lives I caught. So thanks for organizing it. I subbed to a lot of new channels. And Sariva, that is exactly what it's about. It's everybody's supposed to go in. We're all supposed to have fun, have a good time, support new creators, find new people to watch. I say, find your people and then stalk them till they're your friends. That quote came from me. And I mean that in, only the best way possible. Don't actually stalk somebody. Dearly, get out of the closet. You're not supposed to stalk people. But yeah, that's what the DP-a-thon was originally about. And that's, what we want to keep it about, just so that um, all the new creators are supported. People are finding each other, because there are so many people that come in, even just since I've started, that it is insane. I can't even watch everybody that I really want to watch, because there are just not enough hours in the day. Odd says, that's one of the reasons I have two lists on Elfster. One is just Evermoment, and the other is everything else. Exactly, yeah. An electronic screwdriver helps immensely. Evermoment is a safe bet for good quality. They really are, but, odd but nice, the one thing about Evermoment that a lot of people have a problem with is that they only do squares. I don't mind squares, obviously. I'm working on this. But a lot of people are really intimidated by squares. It is the Alex drawers. I do know my IKEA. I watch a lot of videos, like YouTuber beauty guru type people videos. They all have those things. So I was pretty sure that's what it was. I've lost some drills, so I need to get my shit together. Dearly, or Diamond, dang it, Fiona. If you have a magnet, take your magnet and run it over your carpet where you were sitting, and hopefully that will pick up all of those screws that you missed, so you don't suck them up in your vacuum cleaner. Dearly is finding it hard to stalk at the moment. The crazy water makes it impossible to sneak around with all the squelching noises from each footstep. Yeah, and I think she's having some internet issues. Needless to say, now she does, like I said, she lives out in the boonies with Bigfoot, so, Bigfoot might be having some issues with her being on and making so much noise, drinking all that water and squishing. So, guys, I am going to end it here. Odd but Nice says, I love squares, so it's good for me. I don't know a good shop for rounds. Sorry. It's okay, Odd but Nice. Like I said, I like both. So squares or rounds, I really like both. I get tired of doing one all the time. I do prefer the way that squares look once they're finished. Because I like, the solid look of the picture over the way the rounds look. But of course, rounds are sparklier and they're faster. So they both have their pluses and their minuses in my book. But I know a lot of people, especially the new diamond painters, are intimidated by squares. Rob Spooner says, but imagine going to IKEA, opening a closet, and finding Dearly hiding inside of it. Welcome to IKEA. Can I recommend this mom cabinet? Oh, Lord. Timber floor, I heard them drop, but none lost. Okay. Crafting says, Christy says, is that why you haven't stalked me? Oh, guys, no problem. I have so much fun in these. I laugh so much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for laughing. Thank you for supporting me always, especially this past weekend. You know, uh, I cannot express how much it means that people that I've never actually met in real life took the time, took the energy, sent the prayers, sent the love, made sure that I knew that anything I needed, they would be there for. It really touches my heart. And I'm not going to cry. Whew. But yeah, I just thank you guys from the bottom of my heart always. Thank you for all the laughs. I need that right now at the moment the most. Thank you for doing everything that you guys do and supporting all of us and coming and watching us be silly and stupid and make bad jokes and whatever else. Tell scary stories. Um, oh, you found her in your bottom drawer. Was there water coming out of it, Fiona? Is that how you found her? Oh my goodness. Christy, don't drink the water. Oh, wow. But yeah, so keep working on this Victoria's Moon. Hopefully we'll get it halfway finished by, the end of the week maybe. And you guys have an amazing night. Rob, go to sleep, please. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you everybody for coming. I just love you guys. Thank you so much. Um, Sign up for the DP-a-thon the next time around if you want to. Sign up for the Secret Santa if you want to do that. Watch the scary videos that I got a lot of my information from. And remember, guys, until the next time that I see you, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to try things. I love you guys. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, do all the things with the buttons. I'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.